If you could go back to any moment in your journey to date at Plan A on your own board and intervene as a board member for yourself as CEO, what's the moment you'd go back to and what's the value you'd add that you didn't get at the time?
I think there's a few people, especially even outside of our board, that have been at the leadership of the funds that have invested in Plan A that I would have wished I established a more personal connection with, because in tough moments I had seen how important these investment committees are and these LP meetings. I've been at so many LP meetings from our investors, even being representing the receiver of the funds and being happy and explaining why this has mattered to our journey. But I wish there was a few people that I gotten to know better, because especially in the context of being so visible as a company and me as an executive, I've gotten comments not from the board, but from other people that oh yeah, your job must be that you are, constantly on stages, like LinkedIn posts and all that kind of stuff. And if someone looks in my day to day, especially in the context of, balancing a family, but also having set of responsibilities that are so critical and managing a team that is not huge. We are, 100 people. So I've had to take on a lot of responsibilities, and I've had always multiple hats on. And this vanity one has sometimes from the outside been judged. I literally have been told that I was a LinkedIn influencer, which would probably it could be considered as a compliment. I prefer to be a LinkedIn that helps people learn about sustainability, but it's definitely a really small part of my activity. So
you remind me of past guest Steve Rigby in episode 138, where he talked about the importance of building relationships in the good times with newspapers, journalists, and your bank lenders in his case, so that when the bad times hit, the things that you can't prepare for get a more favorable hearing. And it sounds like what you're saying is the advice a board member could have given you if you went back in time was to say, Lubomila, make sure you're going and building those relationships with the managing partners, the key stakeholders of those funds who are going to make the critical decisions when the sea gets stormy, so that when you have that moment and there's a 50-50 decision, it goes in your favor.